we're going to break down how to help your player start to accelerate faster. If you want to get faster, it really starts with your stopping position. The player that can slide on the ice is going to have a better chance to accelerate faster than the player that can't slide on the ice. So I'm going to show you a video. The player that can do a single leg slide has a tendency to have better acceleration than the player that can't. So this player is performing what is called a outside edge, inside foot stop, and they're essentially sliding about 18 feet. How does that connect with acceleration? If a skate is too sharp, it grips into the ice quicker. When you perform that test, you're only going to be able to slide about 3 to 5 feet. The more grip you have, the less slide you have, or they call it glide. A lot of players are getting their skates sharpened at 3/8, maybe half, and when we go to perform this, they will struggle on sliding. It's because a 3/8 skate has a very deep hollow. The other way to think about it is that that blade is really going deep into the ice, so they can't slide. It makes them stop quicker. And you would think, if we want to accelerate faster, we have to stop faster. The problem with that is that when you go to slide on those skates, for you to dig your edge in, you only have to go to about here. And I want to ask you something. If you were to stop and be straight up like this, or you were to stop and start from this position, which one from a biomechanical structure are you going to be able to put more power and force output? Well, if you guess this position, you're right. The problem with stopping is if the skate is too deep of a hollow, it only gets into this position. Now, when you actually have a shallower hollow, they have to lean on their edges more. And what's interesting is they actually can stop in the same distance. The cool part is when you move to, like, say, a 3/4, you can do that single leg slide for roughly 15 feet. But if you wanted to, you could stop just as short or just as quick as the 3/8 skate. You would just lean more. And now you're in a better striding position. It wasn't until I was actually playing professional that my equipment manager basically took my skates and said, "John, this is how they do it in the NHL. This is how your skates are getting set up." So I was like, fine, I'll try it. Now keep in mind, I was crazy uncomfortable with this idea. And now here I am in my first year playing pro hockey, and my skates are changing. After about a week, I loved it. I was talking to the USA Olympic skating coach about some studies and research they've done in the NHL. And the research shows that the shallower the hollow, the less of a risk of injury in the groin and hip, and they're actually having to use less energy to skate. It actually equated to being about 25% energy usage. That's incredible when you look at a full 60-minute game. And furthermore, they actually found that the player accelerated faster because of the ankle position it got put in. And so the question is, John, what do you recommend? And my recommendation is 3/4 flat bottom. The difference between a traditional versus a flat bottom is that traditional is more of a full arc shape, right? Flat bottom looks more like a V. Sparks came around, and I'm guessing for some legality reasons, they had to name it something slightly different, so they call it flat bottom fire. So if you have a Sparks at home, the ring that we personally use is called the 3/4 fire ring. And I even have some college players that are at 1 inch and even shallower. So next time you ask me, Coach, what should I sharpen my skates at? 3/4 fire is a good spot to start, and then you can kind of navigate slightly up or slightly down of what works best for you. This is X7 Hockey Talk. My name is John Swanson. Here's my challenge. Try it for 2 weeks. Then let me know your opinion.